Now, kids, a good father loves his children equally. He's not allowed to pick favorites. So with that, I just want to let you know that I love you, and I especially love you. All completely equal. You're my favorite.
Nerdy dude stuff.
For those of you keeping track at home, today's beer of the day is brought to you by 1010 Brewing out of Orlando, Florida. This is called East West IPA, and I've actually been to this brewery along with my twin 3-year-olds, and I've had this on draft. This is a hazy, copper orange-ish IPA with some good citrus aromatics, but it's really on the dry side. It has a good hopsy bite to it, but then you get picked off by a little bit of grapefruit with a strong, overpowering pine sense. I can tell that they're going for a West Coast style IPA blended with like a hazy East Coast New England style IPA. There's a lot going on that missed the mark. It's kind of like they have so many things going on, and if they just focused on one or two, I feel like this could excel. It's not the worst IPA I've ever had. I would drink it again if I visit that brewery. This is probably about a 2.75 to 3 out of 5. Cheers to you guys.
Bink! What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video about helium mining. If this is your first time on the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, turning on the bell notification as we post videos weekly, and we do a stream every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's a really good time. It's mostly about helium mining. We look at setups, we give you advice on where you can improve, look at antennas, and so on and so forth to help you guys make the most profit from your helium miners. And definitely like this video. We have been helium mining since July of 2021, and we started with our 2 Bobcats. Now, with it being the middle of January, we have officially added a 3rd helium miner to our network 30 days ago, which was that mile site, and that is located up in an attic about 8 meters high with a 6 dBi McGill antenna plugged directly into the device. You could see that here. Since we are in an attic, we don't necessarily need an extension cable or a coax cable to run from the miner to the device, since there's really no elements, there's no wind, there's nothing that would cause any connection issues. But if you were to place this device outside, I would definitely recommend a 1 or 2 footer. That way, if there is any wind that's putting stress on the antenna, it's not putting any stress on the actual connection of the miner. Also want to make sure you have your lightning arrestor for your miner when you're outdoors as well, versus in my attic, I don't need to worry about that. Now, yesterday's video was very 2021 versus 2022, and it focused mostly on the 2 Bobcats because that's where we've had most of our tenure mining helium and where we've done most of our trial and error and our experimentation to the point where we can get a device like the mile site or the very future Mary IoT, which I'm hoping will be coming within the next week or so, and then we can immediately get those set up knowing where we succeeded and we failed, and of course we want to replicate our successes. So with that said, let's jump over and take a look at a 30-day time frame of mining with my Mary IoT, and you can see the comparisons between yesterday with my first 30 days with my Bobcats, which was at like a quarter of a helium, versus my first 30 days with experience, with knowledge, and with a sturdy miner and a better antenna. I always like to start these sections by looking at the price of the token. We're not really going into detail on it or anything. It's just nice to know the profitability that we're seeing when we know the price. So right now, helium's sitting at about 33 cents. $33. So good to know as we jump into taking a look at our mile site, which is taking a minute to load here. All right, here we go. So we were out of sync for about 2 days, just roughly 2 days. Let's pull up the 7-day calculator. Words day. Oh, Prius, come on. All right, so yeah, we were out of sync for about 2 days. For January 12th and January 13th, it fell behind. Yesterday, I did give it a reboot, and then it spent most of the day going through and actually syncing back up to the blockchain. I believe it was down about 3,300. It was behind 3,300 blocks at one given time. So we did that reboot, and it came back to life relatively quickly, as we could see here with our 24-hour results for today. It came back to life about 4 hours ago, which was nice, and you can see we're already up to 0.20 helium. So I do like that very, very much. And if we zoom in, you can kind of see all the witnesses on the screen that we're getting. We also have some primo locations, and this one's really, really successful. I think A, because we don't have any signal loss between the miner and the antenna because of the direct connect with the antenna, and B, this is a little more of a sturdier device, and I also have a more expensive antenna on there. I have the McGill 6.0s, which if you are interested in those, of course, go over to Helium Mart when they have them released, sign up on their waiting list, blah, blah, blah. And this is our next miner that we're going to be getting, the Broen Mary IoT, which I'm excited to unbox, review, and show. We've already unboxed the European version, so I don't know if I'm going to unbox the US version. But anywho, getting off topic there. This one is relayed. I'm not really worried about it being relayed just because of the numbers that it's been doing. And if we go to our 7-day chart, whenever we do our streams, we always talk about in a 7-day time frame. My opinion of success, and it's going to be completely different for each and every other person, is between 2.5 to 3.5 helium in a 7-day spread. That's just me being conservative, and that's just being like realistic on what I think is a good setup. Right now, the average miner is making about 0.14 a day. That's kind of like the network average going across the board with how many miners are there and how much HNT is released each month. So anytime you're over that 0.14 a day, because in 7 days, that would be what, let's just do maths right here. I'm going to say it's going to be like 0.14 times 7. So the average would be 1 helium if we went by the average helium miner, where we are shooting for 2.5 to 3.5. So obviously with it being at 4.089, even down for 2 days, we had some stellar mining opportunities. One day on January 10th, we made 1.205. On the 9th, we made 0.711. We made almost 1 on the 8th and 0.8 on the 7th. So we've had a stellar 7 days, even with 2 days, technically almost 3 days going down. A 14-day spread, not too bad. You can kind of see we had a little bit of a dip on New Year's, and then we, bounced back up. And then our 30-day spread, we're sitting at 16.956. So we've been mining for about 30 days. It did take about 2 days. 2 days once it was finished sinking. You could see here the very first day this got earnings. Really hiccupy, I'm so sorry. The very first day that this got earnings was December 15th. It is now January 14th, and then it was still sinking for those 3 days, but we've got 17 helium in the past 30 days with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with 6 days of about downtime, which was awesome. Now, I can't pull up the actual dashboard to show you how to reset or reboot the device, but once you have that up, because that's, the device is located elsewhere, but once you have it set up and you go into the dashboard, if you do have a day where it's a dud, and what I've noticed is that it kind of puts out not as inconsistent as the Bobcats, but right around time new OTAs and new stuff come out by Helium, I have noticed that sometimes these poop out. And that's pretty much, if you look at the dates in the 30-day range, that's pretty much when this device pooped out. So it's nothing too serious. I'm not really upset by it or anything like that, but I am very happy that it's just a quick reboot and it gets back to normal. So with that said, let's just keep 17. We're going to round up to 17 helium in a 30-day time frame. Let's compare that to our Bobcats. So we're going to compare that to Brief Taupe Fox right here, which is just at about the same. So if we go to our 30-day spread, that's at 16.82, whereas mine is at 16.95, and the Bobcat has more mining days with about 3 days. We're going to be generous and say 3 days of it being down. So with double the days being down, my mile site is better than the Bobcat, which I've had here for a while. Let's take a look at my other Bobcat and see how that's doing. I think I showed this on video yesterday, but it just changes. This one has gone crazy. And I always used to make fun of Sour Walnut Goat and say this was the idiot stepbrother. But in the past 2 days, while the mile site was down, this one picked up the lag and picked up and picked up. And how many times am I going to say pick up? Pick up. One more time. Pick up. But this one definitely did the lifting for our account to get 21.401, which is awesome. And this one is the one that's external at my in-laws house, which I'm very, very happy. So let's go back to the grand total of things, just because that one picked up the slack, and we're looking at 55.187 helium in a 30-day time frame. That's almost $2,000 a month. So if we did that, that would be $24,000 a year in helium mining. Very, very, very happy with those numbers, but I'm very, very happy with my mile site, and I really hope that the Mary IoT will also be a welcome addition to my helium network and my little helium mining family. So a lot of you reached out to me and asked me if I had a really good step-by-step guide or a video to setting up the helium miner, and I do, and it's not the greatest in the world, but it it shows you what I did to get going. There's also this step-by-step guide, which I'll leave in the description of this video if you want to pull it up. And this is kind of what I utilized to get everything going, because when the Mile site first came out and was released, I was one of the first people to have my hands on it, and I had to learn everything the hard way. But I followed this guide to a T. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. Feel free to reach out by one of the means of contacts in the links in the description, links of this video, or leave a comment. But I will say this is the easiest one to pull up. The dashboard's pretty simple to understand once you have everything going there, and you just click through and reset. But this guide right here will show you everything that you need to know. Anywho, that's going to do it for me today, guys. I really like my Mile site. I don't know if you could tell. It's making us a lot of helium and a lot of money, and we're very, very happy with it, and we're excited, and hopefully it'll be the good big helium miner to its little merry IoT sister when she comes in, and they can all make a lot of helium, and we can stop working because we want to retire on the helium. Any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or Discord. Links for that stuff is in the description of this video. Leave a comment below if you guys would like to see me calling out some of these hackers and these scams and these Ponzi schemes that keep reaching out to me on Telegram. Like, I haven't removed my Telegram just yet, but I have screenshots and I have all of these like deputy directors of Tron mining companies. If you guys want to see that as a video, let me know. I'm really nervous to put it out because I don't think it's going to get much traffic, and it's not mining. But let me know if you want to see that. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell, all that good stuff. I'm Mo Prius, and we'll see you guys next time.